Networking and marketing made simple is for you, the business owner who has a product, a service, or a message that you believe in. My name is Scott Aaron, and each week we'll take a behind-the-scenes look into the real-world marketing and networking tactics and strategies for getting what you have in front of you to a lot more people. Thanks for spending time with me, and now let's get started. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Networking and Marketing Made Simple. Super excited for today's episode for a number of reasons. Number one, I love doing the interview episodes, as I know all of you do as well, from all the feedback that you've been giving us over the last 4+ years of this podcast. But also, I love interviewing people that I know, I don't want to say necessarily speak my business language, but the concept and the business that they run brings a smile to my face, because I believe in working smarter and not harder. I believe in outsourcing aspects of someone's business because, again, you can't be the waiter, the sous chef, you can't be the cook, you can't be all the things. You need to take some of those things off of your plate. And the guest that I have for you today helps people with just that, on top of also being a podcaster. So with all that behind us, Kristy Yoder, welcome to today's episode.
Thank you, Scott. I'm so excited to be here today.
Well, grateful to have you here. So obviously there's a lot to unpack with, your story and the things that you're doing. And I always like people sharing a little bit about them before they got to where they are right now, but more importantly, from your whole business journey and all the things that you're doing now to support business owners and obviously growing your own business. What do you feel was the catalytic moment for you that has sent you on this path that you're now currently on?
Well, just to start off, I just want to make sure that your audience know that I am originally from the Philippines. I know it's not really important, but I know, I know it's not important where a person came from, but I think it's important in a way to know what background and culture the person has, because to me, that's very important. So I grew up in the Philippines. I was born and raised in the Philippines. And then I moved to the States 3 years ago. So I'm, in a way, I'm also brand new here in the States. So I'm starting to learn different things, about the country, the people, and also different types of businesses as well. So when I was in the Philippines, I was a VA. I'm a freelancer. And during that time, actually, I didn't know that I was considered a VA, because before, 5 years ago, you just refer to them as independent contractors and freelancers. And now the term virtual assistant is widely being used all around the world. And so I started as a VA, a virtual assistant, and I considered myself a multi-skilled virtual assistant. That means that I can do different things. I can do admin tasks, customer service, but I can also do technical tasks such as, website development, graphic, video editing, podcast editing, all sorts of, digital marketing tasks. And so when I moved to the States, I already have a few clients, which are based in the US and also in Canada. But when I moved to the States, I expanded my network. It's probably because of my personality. I'm very outgoing. I'm very extrovert. It's easy for me to meet new people and get connected with them. And so when I expanded my network here in the States, I just felt so stressed and overwhelmed, and I couldn't say no to all the projects that are coming in, because as part of being extrovert, or as part of having an extroverted personality, sometimes it's hard to say no to people because you don't want them to feel rejected, because I don't want people to say no to me as well, so I'm just all about pleasing other people and saying yes to them, to the point of burning out. And so when I felt stressed, overwhelmed, and burnout, I was like, I gotta do something. So I thought of reaching out to a few of my friends in the Philippines who were at that time were freelancers, and so I reached out to them and I asked them to work for a few of my projects part time, and so they did. And then when I noticed that it's working really great, I thought of hiring even more virtual assistants from the Philippines to help me with my clients and projects. So I won't have to say no to my clients and also to my upcoming clients. So now, from being a virtual assistant, I have now 70 plus team members of my own. And that is because of delegation. That is because I realized that I cannot do everything alone. If I try to, I might not have a longer life, I might die soon if I try to do everything my own, because you're like slowly killing yourself.
Well, there's a difference between working on your business and working in your business. And, Nancy, people that have listened to this podcast, they know Nancy and I have put, and you and I were talking in the pre-show, we both stop our day at 6:00, and that's strict. I don't get on any call unless I'm doing a launch or Nancy and I are doing a workshop. We'll do Zooms at night for, teaching purposes, but no podcasting, no business calls. And the other thing is Nancy and I only work 3 days a week. We work Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. We wanted to create a harmonious balance between work and life. And the fact of the matter is that, we had someone jumped on, we have a mastermind, and someone jumped on one of our Q&A calls, and they said, well, I want to take off Fridays, but I have a client that wants to meet on Fridays. And we said, well, that's not your problem. That's your client's problem. If you want to take off Fridays, you let them know that you're unavailable on Fridays, and they're going to have to find a time, one of the other 96 hours that, you're not available, to schedule a call. And, the fact of the matter is, doing what you did, where you were able to outsource, delegate, and support people, because again, we only have so much bandwidth. We and there's only so many hours in a day. You don't want to be working 24/7. You need to be living your life as well. So what did you learn in being a VA yourself for so many years, and then going over to the other side of the coin where you are running your own business? What would you say you learned most from your own experience in being a VA that allowed you to successfully run the current business that you're running?
That is actually a very good question, and I'm not sure if I have the right answer for that. But just on top of my head, I think when I was a VA, the biggest lesson that I learned is just really saying yes to the things that are important to me. If I didn't have the option to delegate or to hire other people, I'd probably be a mess right now. And so I'm glad that delegation is available for us, business owners, because, as an extroverted person, it's just really hard for me to say no. And so at the beginning stage of my business, I learned immediately that I only need to say yes to things that matters to me the most. And so I mean that probably is a very that saying no to other people might be a simple task for someone who is who's very stern or maybe like straightforward all the time. But when you have, I don't know, I mean, it's not really a big struggle for me, but if you're the type of person, if you're an extrovert person and you're a people pleaser, you may probably be able to relate, to the struggle that I had, but even if we don't have, even if you have a different personality as mine, it's still hard to say no to other people, because who wants to say no all the time, right? And there was even a movie, I forget the title of the movie, but oh, I remember Yes Day.
Yeah,
So there was even
the one with,
Yes,
well, there was Yes Man with Jim Carrey, and then Yes Day
Jim Carrey.
Was the one that came out with Jennifer Garner, and her kids got one day that they can say yes to every single thing, or she had to say yes to everything.
So I'm referring to both movies. If it's not that hard to say no, why would those directors, came up with those kind of movies? Because saying no has a different, like it has a negative connotation. So at the beginning stage of my business, I learned, immediately that I can't say no. I can't say yes all the time. Um, you know, And so, and there's an impact of saying no and saying yes. So if you say yes all the time, it will give you like that very warm feeling that you're making the other person feel that they're valuable. But at the same time, you also need to make sure that you value yourself by just saying to things that are very important to you, if that makes sense.
No, completely. I think it's understanding, sometimes saying no is one of the best things that you can do for your business when it comes to investments that you make, and um, you know, certain pivots that you're taking, or new directions that you're going in. You can't say yes to everything, because if you say yes to everything, it may block you from the ability that you have to say yes to something else that's more aligned with what you're doing. So I totally agree with that. The other thing that I wanted to ask you is that there's I would say there's an unknown connotation about hiring VAs. And Nancy and we have a team of 10 now that work behind us, helping us with certain aspects of our business. And I think the big question that people have is, when am I ready for a VA? At what point do I need to be in my business monetarily to hire someone out? Whether it's a service that and company that you have, or going to Fiverr, Upwork, or some VA service. What would your best suggestion or recommendation be to that business owner that's listening to this, that whether they're in the early, the mid, or the later stage of their business, when is the appropriate time to start outsourcing some of the things off of your plate?
Yeah, that is really a good question. Some people may say that once you start feeling stressed and overwhelmed, then hire somebody else to do some of the tasks, that you have on your plate. Yes, that's true, but not all the time. Sometimes we are stressed and overwhelmed because not because we have a lot of tasks, but because, we are not self-aware. So if you're stressed and overwhelmed, like, sit down first and evaluate and assess, why are you stressed and overwhelmed? Maybe you just need to clean up your office or your living room, so that your mind is also free of clutter, because I believe that our surroundings have great effect on our mental health as well. But if you're stressed and overwhelmed because you are really, you are doing things that you're not supposed to be doing, as the business leader, as the CEO of your business, there are things that you you're the only one who can do, right? But and then there's other things that you can delegate to other people, regardless if it's something that you enjoy or you're good at. So assess yourself and evaluate. In terms of finances, I always say that when you haven't hit your goal yet, like, for instance, if you're as an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, if your goal is to have 10K a month, even if you have not reached that goal yet, but you're already at the point where you're able to pay your bills, you're able to feed yourself 3 times a day, you're able to pay all the necessities, then start hiring a virtual assistant already. So let's say your goal is 10K, but you're only at 5K, but at that 5K, you can comfortably live your life already. You can pay your bills. Then start hiring a virtual assistant, because your virtual assistant will help you reach your 10K months goal. So start with that. And of course, before you hire a virtual assistant, you have to make sure that it's for long term, not just for short term. And it's very important as well that you have a business plan. You have a solid goal as to why you want to hire a virtual assistant, not just because you want some tasks off of your plate. It has to be, you have to have greater reasons than that, and it has to be your vision, which is the backbone of your business. Because if you don't have a vision for your VA, or for your business to go, or you don't know how you want your business to look like after 3 or 5 years, then you wouldn't know how to explain your vision, your mission and vision to your VA. And that's a very important thing, for your VA to know. And it's very important for you to explain, because your VA should be on board with your mission and vision. So there's just a lot of things to consider when you hire a VA, your mental health, and also your finances, and also your vision for your business.
Yeah, I would say I agree with all of that, but I would say the one thing that I would say is most important is the last thing that you shared, which is the vision of your business. If you don't know what your business is going to look like or what you want it to look like, how can you expect someone that's helping you grow your business do things the way that they should be done? It's again, it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something is going to stick. But
Right.
if you're going to hire a VA and you are very clear, direct, specific, and you're painting a picture that they can see without them even buying the photo, then you're going to have a much better experience working with that individual. Now, there's a lot of inner workings of things that you should outsource to a VA. So in the very beginning stages, when you're bringing a VA on, what are some basic tasks? Because again, Nancy and I, until we found the team that we have, we were working with different VAs here and there, responsibilities like checking email, sending email communications, checking Facebook groups, importing contacts, those types of things. What are some of if someone's listening to this and they're in the trenches of their business and they're working too much in their business and not on their business, what are some very simple tasks that a VA that they connect with and they paint a very clear picture of what their business is and what they want it to look like? What are some simple tasks that a VA can take off of their plate that isn't going to cost an arm and a leg, that's going to allow them to focus on other things?
Well, that is a good question. And I feel like for me, I have a very different approach when it comes to delegation. But if you're asking for a simple task that a business owner can delegate to a virtual assistant without breaking your bank account, then that would be admin tasks. And actually that includes LinkedIn outreach, because LinkedIn outreach is something that is very I don't know, it's very it's important, it's an important aspect of your marketing plan, but at the same time it's not hard for a VA to learn how to do LinkedIn outreach, because LinkedIn is actually one of our lead conversion machine. 80% of our clients right now came from LinkedIn, and so I had to teach one of my VAs to do LinkedIn outreach for me. And so again, so admin task is very easy to delegate to a VA without breaking your bank account. But like I mentioned, I have a different approach when it comes to delegation, because I believe that the reason why we have our business is not just because we don't want to be in a cubicle and work there from 8 to 5, right? That's not it. The main reason why we have a business is because we want freedom. We just don't want freedom from our boss or from our employers, but we want freedom to do the things that we love, and and we want freedom to not do the things that we don't love doing, right? So if you're the type of person who don't like doing admin tasks, which is like me, I would rather delegate that than force myself to do it, because again, we build a business because we are passionate about having our own business, and we want to enjoy our time in our freedom. And so the way how I approach delegation is that first, you really have to again, like I mentioned, you need to have a vision for your business. You need to know how you want your business to look like after a couple of years, 5 years, whatever. And after you have a vision, then get a piece of paper, write down what are the things that I need to do in order to get there, to get to where I want to be after a couple of years. So write down a piece of paper and then just put all the things that you need to do, aka the task that you need to do in order for you to get to the direction that you want your business to go. And so once you have listed all the tasks that is important for you to do, segregate them into 4 categories. And this is how I normally plan out my year, actually. And I recommend that whoever's listening to this episode, that you follow this strategy if you feel like this is also going to be helpful for your business. So segregate those tasks into 4 categories. The first category is the task that you enjoy doing and you are good at. Do that most of the time. So the things that the tasks that you are good at and you enjoy, do that most of the time. The second category is the things that you enjoy doing and you're not good at, do that only 10% of the time. And the third category, the things that you don't enjoy doing but you're good at, delegate that 90% of the time. And lastly, the things that you enjoy, the things that, or the tasks that you don't enjoy doing and you're not good at, no questions asked, delegate that 100% of the time. So it's not really, to me, personally, it's not really the matter of what is the most simple task I can delegate, because even the simplest task can bring you joy, if that's something you're passionate about, to me personally, don't delegate that. If it brings fire to your soul, if it's something you enjoy and you're good at, and you feel just very fulfilled when you finish that specific task, however small or big that task is, continue doing that. But the task that you don't enjoy and you're not good at, what's the point of doing it if you don't like it, right? So give yourself a break and, just love yourself by not forcing yourself to do the things that you hate doing, because there's no point. You're a business owner. We're business owners. We should have the freedom to do what we like and the freedom to not do what we don't like. So to me, that's how I approach delegation.
So obviously you do a lot of great stuff. So as we start to wind down, I do have one more important question, but before we get to that, tell the audience a little bit about you and your company, who you serve, how you help them, but also, if they're interested in listening to your podcast, where can they go find it and what it's all about?
Sure. Yeah. So my virtual assistant agency is called Smart VAs. Mainly, the things that we provide to our clients is that we assign a team of virtual assistants, and that's what sets us apart from other virtual assistant agencies, because unlike other virtual assistant agencies that only assigns one virtual assistant, they expect the one VA to do everything for a business owner, like social media, website, podcasts, editing, whatever. To us, at my agency, we assign a team of virtual assistants, because I believe personally that you cannot expect one person to do everything for you. If you're the business owner, if you're a business owner and you don't expect yourself to do everything, then why do we expect our VAs to do everything for us? So that's why we assign a team of virtual assistants with different skill sets, because we also want them to do the things that they are passionate about as well. And so we mainly help marketing people, so people who owns a marketing business or a marketing agency, but we also help coaches and also other business owners who are in the health and e-commerce industries. But mainly, we are more focused on digital marketing, and that's why we want to work with digital marketing people. And our website is smartvirtualassistants.com. And if you want to listen to my podcast, it's very simple. Just type in Master Delegator on Spotify or iTunes or any other podcast platforms.
Awesome. So for all the listeners, all that information about Kristy and her company and her podcast website, all of that will be in the description of the episode. So if you do want to go check it out, you're not going to have to look too far. So Kristy, final question before we end today's amazing interview. What does success truly mean to you?
I knew it. Always. Final question. The final question is always the hardest to answer. Success to me, I love John Maxwell. I don't know if you listen to him, but to him, success is a journey. But to me, and I believe, but my personal definition of success is when I'm able to accomplish my mission and vision for my business. And my mission is to help business owners and also provide work from home jobs to global talents and help them achieve their dreams. And so when I'm able to accomplish those things, then I consider myself a successful person.
Love that. Success does not have a single definition. It's what people feel it means to them. So, Kristy, again, thank you so much for being here today and sharing all your wisdom and really debunking a lot of the things that people do not know about hiring a VA service or a VA in general, and how they can take some much needed things off of their plate so they can be more productive and less busy. So thank you again so much for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So everyone, again, all the information about Kristy, her company, her podcast, and her website will be in the description of the episode. So I highly encourage you to check her out. So everyone, please enjoy the rest of your days, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much again for checking out today's episode. And if you are listening through iTunes, Spotify, wherever you are, please leave me a rating and review. Let me know what you loved, what you would like to see improved, or ideas you have for future episodes. And if you are interested in taking your business to the next level, don't hesitate to go to my website, www.scottaaron.net, where you can schedule a free discovery call with me, where I can learn more about you, your business, what you're struggling with, and how we can work together. And don't forget to check out my wife, Nancy, and mine, our free community on Facebook called LinkedIn Leads for Life. We would love to see you in there. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you, everyone, for your support. Grateful for each and every one of you.